All right, so this is the second video in the tutorial series on webapp3, and in this video I'm just going to be showing you how to use some of the basic features of webapp3, and I'm going to be demonstrating it. So Uh, we've uh, we've got this file that we downloaded from GitHub in the first video, and this is just the example file. And as you can see here, it's got uh, a lot of syntax that you would use in webapp2. It's got redirects, self-response.write, get, post, webapp2 request handler, and also base handler. And then it's got sessions, and and then down here it's got the webapp2 application, blah blah blah, for all your handling, right? Except it's not off to the left like normal. It's handled differently with webapp3. So all right, first I'm just gonna go ahead and demonstrate this real quick. So just gonna run a Flask local environment, development environment, localhost. And this is just running just the file that I downloaded from right here. So first thing to add, all right, Brandon. I posted Brandon. Session name is session blah blah blah. And so let me show you here in the code. So just real basic, just on the main page. Just did some self-response.write through in some HTML, and then I did a little form. But on the main page, when we went to the main page, we established a session, and what it's doing is it actually takes this your whatever secret key. So don't forget to create a secret key, and it's actually creating a Flask session. But anyway, so it's just like you would on webapp2, just creating a session, and then down here it posted it, and it took the session and the stuff that was stored as a session, and used it and posted it here. So that's just showing you that your basic syntax for webapp2 works. Anyway, so then all right, so now let's go to first page, and it rerouted us to second page because in the webapp2 syntax, I said, okay, if you call first page, just reroute to second page if you do a GET request for it. So that's just an example of that it works. But now what you're going to want to do for your to make it work for your old stuff is, all right, you've got some options here. So first you're going to want to copy this app.root, this whole thing right here, and then paste in your because you have to create a Flask handler because you're using Flask now. And for your main page, you are you have to do the main page individually. So you have to do this app.root, just slash, for the main page to handle that, and then you just pass it. You just do web app, and then pass in your class and call your class for the main page that you're using for your main page. So that is the only one that has to be individually, but the rest, if you just copy this with the search URL and everything, and then replace this, this app, webapp3, blah, 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 replace that with your old one that's already got all your URIs and your classes listed. Copy and paste it just like it is, but then just at the end get rid of config and get rid of debug, all that stuff, and just put in search URL equals search URL, and then have this return web app, and that it will handle all of your routing, except if you have any pages that need to be handled with that need, hold on one sec. Okay, that need to have a path handled with it. So so let's say you've got like a your URI is slash, or let's say this is users slash I don't know, whatever their user ID is, right? Well, that you would handle separately. You do that down. You could either handle it individually with your actually you'd have to handle it individually, passing in the web app get, and then having search URI, so it'd be like users, and then the search URL, and then handle it in your class. I hope that makes sense to you guys, but yeah, so you would use one of these for that. It'd be something more like this, and then you'd also have to put the search URL there, and then you would do web app get request and add the path as well, instead of just doing web app get, and then here you would add search URL and pass that in. So that's how you would handle something that has an additional path. But for the most part, your if you don't have any additional paths and it's just a straight up page, then it can be handled here. But if it's not, then just do it that way. And also, if you want to just individually handle things, I mean, you can do this web app and then pass it, just return just like this. You can copy and paste this and just pass in web app, and then the class that you want it to work in, and it'll automatically detect if it's get or post. And then depending on when it gets called, But if you want to handle them separately, then you can do it this way and pass in web app get and then the page, or web app post, and pass in the class, or pass in the page. So that is how you use the basic features of webapp3, and I'll cover more stuff in future videos, such as using the mail config, because not everybody's going to want to use the mail config feature. All right, well, thanks for watching this video, and I hope you have a great day.